everybody, Ellie here from Cootsiers, and happy November. Now that it's November, that means the greenhouse is open, the holidays are full steam ahead, and that means it's time for us to switch our pots over from fall to winter. Mine are not looking so great, so it's time to get them switched, freshened up with some greens, some nice winter decor, and just to get my front porch ready for the winter season. You can't really tell, but I mean, you can tell my chickens decided that it was time for a little snack and to eat some of my cabbage here as well as some of my mums. But you know what? That's okay. That's just life. And then we're gonna get it all switched over and then they won't be able to eat it anymore. So it's a win-win-win. Come along with me and the bump. 7 months as we switch it over. Let's go. And I know some of you may be thinking one of two things. First, I didn't even know she was pregnant. Well, I tried to hide it earlier, so here you go. 7 months. We've got a few months left before baby boy gets here. So that's another reason to get our pot switched over before the holidays when I'm much too big and uncomfortable. Second thing you might be thinking is, but what if I don't even know where to start once I take out all of my fall green or my fall plants and now I'm switching over to winter greens? Don't you worry. I've been there before. We all have, even those of us who you may think are experts or know what we're doing. Sometimes we just get stuck in a creative rut, or you just don't know what you're looking for this year or what vibe you want to go for. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to hopefully help you out. And if none of those work, just come to the greenhouse. We've got amazing staff that has great creative eyes, great design, and they can kind of help guide you on the journey of figuring out what it is you want your front porch space to look like. I want mine to look better than this. So we're gonna get rid of the fall stuff and get going on some winter greens. One of my first tips, recycle. If you notice, this is the same kind of like arborvitae that I had put in my planter from fall. And so I'm gonna recycle it. I'm gonna use it again in my winter planter as kind of the focal point, and then I will build my greens around to kind of trail and fill it in. Another tip to use, different kinds of greens, different variety will give your planter some visual interest as well as allow you to have kind of different textures in how you're doing your plants, in your greens, in your planter. So this is cedar on the top. This is really droopy, which is nice. I also have some just kind of like fir and spruce in here, as well as some white pine. This is really fun and pretty. So right now it just kind of looks like a box of greens. But as you watch me put it together, you'll see how the different varieties put together make really pretty visual interest. Another decorating tip, if you're not really sure what you want your pot to look like decoration-wise, look how full it is with all the greens. Once you have your greens in, go through what you already have and see if there's anything that suits your fancy. So that way you can start with that and put that in there and see what you think. And then if you decide it's not enough, I need a little bit more or something different, then feel free to come into the greenhouse. We've got lots of pretty options for you. Another design tip for you, always, 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 when it comes to any sort of decoration or accents, think in odd numbers. Now that seems odd, pun intended, but really it's more aesthetically pleasing to the eye to see an odd number of items. So as you can see, I picked out my 3 birch logs. So instead of doing 2, you're gonna put 3 in, because for our eyes, the way that they are, it's just more aesthetically pleasing. It looks nicer to have 3 instead of 2. So remember odd numbers when it comes to picking out your accents and decorations. And sometimes you get going on your planter and you're like, I think there's something missing. So you go and rifle through what you already have, and I found some red sticks. I'm gonna put these in here and see if they might be adding the missing piece to what I'm needing in my planter here. Ta-da! My planter is all done. It's big and beautiful, and I'm here for it. So that was as simple as it was. You can take as much or as little time as you want. You can take things out. You can start again. But no matter how you get there, the end result is you did this yourself or you had someone at the greenhouse help. No shame in that game. And then now your front porch is all ready. So let's welcome over some guests in some holiday cheer, shall we? Happy winter!